Hello, this is Steve Hanford with Lions Karate, and I wanted to go over some of the buy systems that we use, and then also go over kind of the round robin or Louisiana buy, and then what some other places use that's a little more complicated for a buy system, and explain why we do what we do at our tournaments. One of the easiest ways to think about a buy system is you want to get to 4, 8, or 16 competitors. Obviously, this is going to be when sparring, when you're pairing up competitors versus each other. You want to get to 4, 8, or 16. So if you have, say, 12 competitors, so how many buys would you have? You'd have 4. 4 plus 12 is 16. How that works is randomly 4 people would be selected and they would automatically move to that next round. And that would leave you with 8 others that would battle it out, and winner moves on. So you'd have 4 winners and they would move on to fight those 4 people with a bye, and that takes you to 8. And then it goes down to 4, then 2, and then your winner at 1. If you have, let's say, 13 non-even numbers, so 13, you'd have 3 buys. 3 buys, 3 people move on to the second round, and then you'd have 10 people left. Winners move on, makes 5 winners, and they would move on to make 8 in round 2. Now let's talk about if there's more than that. We don't do this at our tournaments. We divide the divisions, but at some point tournaments where there can only be a first, second, third, and fourth for, let's say, the 9 and 10-year-old advance, and there's 18 people in that division. Well, so it goes 4, 8, 16. The next one is 32. So there would be 14 buys. 14 buys. That'd leave 4 more people to spar, leaving 2, and then those 2 would get paired up with the other 14 to make 16 for that second round. And now let's talk about if less than that, so maybe 7. So 7 people to get to 8, there'd be 1 bye. So 1 person goes to the second round, that leaves 6 other people, and they fight out to where 3 people move on, and that makes to 4. And that's another number that we're looking for. Now let's talk about when there's only 3 people in a division. What we do for simplicity and for speed of tournaments, randomly 1 person gets selected. That could be pick a number, that could be throwing the tickets in the air, whichever one's closest to the line, that could be whoever's birthday is closest to that date. It could be any random selection for that. That person that gets the bye moves on to the second round, where the first 2 people battle. Winner moves on to fight for first and second. If your competitor loses that first round, they automatically got third. So let's say an ideal situation is called a round robin, or I've heard it termed the Louisiana buy. And how that works is if there's 3 people, the randomly first 2 fight, and let's say you got competitor A, B, and C. Well, A gets a bye, then you have competitors B and C. Well, let's say B beats C, then B moves on and beats A. So B won versus both the others. In our system for Lions Karate tournaments, C would get third, A would get second, and B would get first. In a round robin or Louisiana bye, then A and C would battle to see who actually deserves second place. If we were to do that, that'd draw our tournaments out another half hour to an hour for extra matches. So what we do for simplicity reasons is that there's other types of buy systems or round robin systems where let's say there's 16 people, just for nice easy numbers, and competitor A beats competitor B in that first round, but competitor A ends up winning first place. Well, how do we know that competitor B wasn't still better than the person that ended up getting second in that bracket system? So they would kind of drag all those people up with them as they beat everybody, so that they would still fight it out for second and third and fourth, or whatever divisions and rankings they have. So in an ideal situation, just about everybody would spar everybody, and they'd get to see who's first through 16th. But for simplicity and speed for our tournaments, these are the bye systems that we use. We try not to pair up students from the same school in the first round. These competitors travel to our tournaments not to spar people that they sparred earlier that week in class. So that's how we do the bye system. And we'll show some examples. We showed some examples, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and I can explain it in more detail. Talk to me at a tournament, I can explain it in more detail. But I just want to explain what we do, why we do it, and how we do it. So I hope this helps. Thank you. Bye.